All right, everyone. So a couple of days ago, HBO Max, Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema released the very first trailer of the Mortal Kombat reboot. We've been waiting for this trailer for a while. The film was supposed to come out back in March of 2021 theatrically, and before that, it was supposed to come out in January of 2021. Finally, Warner Brothers and HBO Max decided to release the Mortal Kombat film on HBO Max and theatrically starting April 16th of 2021. So this is the first time we actually get a real look at how the film might look like. And the second episode of the Met Report is going to focus on a breakdown of this Mortal Kombat trailer. And I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the trailer. There's some things that I liked in the trailer and some things that I really didn't like. And I'm also doing my What to Watch segment, like my last episode. And I am also doing a Funko Pop giveaway, since this is very fitting, since we're talking about Mortal Kombat. In this episode of the Met Report, the Funko Pop giveaway will be a Mortal Kombat Funko. So must have a mailing address within the United States and must be a subscriber to the Movie Canon. I'll give instructions towards the end of the video. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright everyone, so welcome to the Met Report episode 2. As I mentioned, this episode is going to focus on the Mortal Kombat trailer that just came out a couple days ago. So let's get started with what we saw. So first we hear Sonya Blade, a voiceover, talking about a fugitive in Brazil. So her crew went up there to try to take out that target, which turns out to be Sub-Zero. Now, the first thing that we see here is that we see a lot of little icicles, a little shot, this very nice, beautiful shot of like a bunch of ice, and then we're getting to Sub-Zero, right? So what I found interesting was that they decided to change the origin of Jax's arms. So in the very first part of this trailer, we see that Sub-Zero freezes Jax's arms while they're basically duking it out, battling, fighting, or whatever you want to call it. And then he breaks Jax's arms. Now that's something that's different than from the video game, so they decided to go this route, and I do kind of like it. Then the next thing that we see is that this new character called Cole Young. So he has a tattoo, or not a tattoo, he has a birthmark on his chest, which is kind of like the symbol, the Mortal Kombat symbol, the dragon. And they talk about this little girl saying, oh, that's his birthmark, and we're referring to this Cole Young character. And Jax eventually says in the trailer, oh, you are the chosen one. That's why you have this birthmark or whatever. And I find that very interesting because it looks like this Cole Young character might be kind of like a representation of the audience, because this character is actually not in the video game. So there's no Cole Young character that I recall. The other thing that I noticed here is that there's no Johnny Cage in the trailer at all. I don't think Johnny Cage is actually in the film, and being a huge fan of the character, I really like Johnny Cage. He's basically the main character that I use when I would play the games. I like his fighting style. He's fun to use, and I think he'll be really fun on screen, because his persona is like this obsessive narcissist actor who only cares about himself. And you can see that in the video game and the original film, the 1995 Mortal Kombat film. They used him pretty well, and I was disappointed that they didn't use him in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the second film that came out in 1997. And now it looks like Johnny Cage is not going to be in this film at all. So I think they're going to maybe use this character Cole Young kind of like to replace Johnny Cage in a way. I know that it's not exactly this character being Johnny Cage exactly, but I think they're just going to use this new character instead of using Johnny Cage, because he's kind of like the same look in a way. Although I don't know the background of this Cole Young character. Like I said, he's new. He's not in the video game, so I don't know what they're going with that particular character, except it looks like he has some kind of connection with one of the fighters in Mortal Kombat, one of the champions, maybe Scorpion or something like that, since he does have that birthmark of the Mortal Kombat tournament logo, or whatever you want to call it. And then we get to this, it looks like it's like a flashback of Scorpion as a human. I don't know if it's exactly a flashback, but maybe it's at the beginning of the movie. We see Scorpion as a human being. He hasn't actually turned into the Scorpion that we know. And he's like fighting out these assassins. And that whole part is pretty cool because you see him just taking out all these assassins one by one with the spears. It's bloody. It's all over the place. And that's definitely something that we want to see as, Mortal Kombat fans. So I really like that shot there, that part. Another thing that I noticed in the trailer is that Sonya seems to have Kano kind of as an accomplice. Like he's part of the crew. He's part of the group. You see shots of Sonya with Jax and Liu Kang. And then you also see Kano briefly. So I think Kano is first going to be kind of good. Like he's going to be a friend for Sonya, which I think it is. I think it might be part of the original story in the video game. Don't quote on me on that. I don't really remember that. But I think he was somehow either a partner or a friend with Sonya Blade. And it looks like they're showing that in the trailer. Because we all know that, Kano is a douchebag and he's a villain. And so the actor that they used to play Kano, he's doing pretty good from what I've seen so far. If they're going to recast, the actor who played Kano in the 1995 version, I think this is a good casting for this particular actor to play Kano. Now, Kano in the 1995 film was absolutely perfect. He fit the role. He was basically Kano. Okay, then we also get a quick glimpse of Goro. Now, I didn't look into too detail as to what this Mortal Kombat reboot is really about. I didn't really see or heard that Goro was going to be in this film. I figured that they should, but I just wasn't sure if they actually were going to use him. So we see a quick glimpse of Goro. He's like a second or two. You see him. He's like jumping, about to attack someone in slow motion. And I'll talk a little bit about the CGI from what I saw in a bit. But I am glad that Goro is in this film. He's a very cool character. I like seeing him. He's this creature, 4 arms. And he's one huge badass, and it's cool to see him on screen again, even if it was very brief. But I am glad that they brought him in this movie. How long he's going to be in it, I have no idea, but I'm glad he's in this film. Okay, then we also get a shot of or a part with Sub-Zero that is duking it out, fighting with Scorpion. And there's this part in this trailer that I thought was very, very cool, very fatality-like. I'm glad that they used that in the movie. So there's a part where Sub-Zero cuts into a Scorpion. His blood splatters in the air, and then Sub-Zero freezes the blood. And then within that frozen blood, he forms it to be like a spear-like weapon. And then he uses it against Scorpion. And then he just kind of just tosses him across some frozen wall that he created right before he did that. And then Scorpion goes through it and breaks it, and that part was pretty cool. That's very fatality Mortal Kombat video game shot right there, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then we also hear some of the lines that we'd hear in the Mortal Kombat video game. We hear one of the characters say, "Finish him." I think it was Shang Tsung, and then we hear Kano say, "Kano wins," after he removes the heart of what looks like to be some kind of creature. In the trailer, there's a quick shot that you see Kano fighting some monster creature looking thing, and then later on we see that he took out the heart of, I'm guessing is that creature, and then he says Kano wins or whatever, which is pretty cool. And then there's the other lines that we hear from the video game, Scorpion goes and says get over here, and then Sub-Zero goes and says I am Sub-Zero. We'll talk about that towards the end here. Alright, so that's basically just the summary of the trailer that we've seen so far, of the teaser trailer of Mortal Kombat. So I'm going to go into the pros. Some of the things I kind of already mentioned, but these are the pros. And then we'll get to the cons real quick here. So starting with the pros here, the look of the film. The film looks pretty cool. I like the cinematography from what I can tell. Just the overall look of the film looks really, really nice. It looks beautiful. I want to see it on 4K. Or ideally, I would want to see it theatrically, but I haven't made that decision yet. The other thing is the look of the characters. So the look of Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, Kano, Shang Tsung. We get a little glimpse of Mileena, very brief glimpse, but we see her. The look of the characters are very consistent with the video game, which I'm glad they're using that, especially Sub-Zero and the Scorpion, because those are like the main characters that most people like. Okay, and I mentioned earlier that the part with Sub-Zero and Jax, that was really cool. I really like that Sub-Zero froze Jax's arms and then it just breaks them, and then we get an origin of how or why Jax has those steel arms. I do like that they're going this route. Like I said, I know that's not part of the origin of the video game, but I do like that they did it this way. The only thing about that is that maybe they should have stopped before Sub-Zero actually, broke the arms, because I know that that's where he was going, but probably better if you didn't actually show it in the trailer so that we actually see it in the film. And I also mentioned that earlier too when I was giving you the synopsis, the summary of the trailer, the part where Scorpion as a human being is taking out all these assassins. That shot, that whole sequence there looks really cool. In the trailer, it looks damn cool. I can only imagine how good it might be when we actually see the movie. So I'm excited to see that part. It might be like the beginning of the movie, I'm guessing. Okay, and then another pro is, of course, seeing that Goro is back in this film. Like I said, I don't know to what capacity, but I like that he's back. So that's another pro. And then, of course, when Sub-Zero uses the blood, freezes it, and uses it as a spear-like weapon against Scorpion, that part was pretty damn cool. I will say that was probably the best part of this whole trailer. So that worked. Okay, so now the cons. So the cons of the trailer that I've noticed, some things that I didn't like, or some of the things that I'm a little concerned about. So I mentioned this before in one of my other videos when we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2021. The writer and director are one-time writers, one-time directors. Now the screenplay is written by two people. So we have one person here, Greg Russo and Dave Callahan. Now Greg Russo, I believe, is the one writer that has not done any other screenwriter work. As far as I don't see any credits under his name at all. The other co-writer is Dave Callahan. So David Callahan has actually written quite a few movies that you may recognize, or co-wrote some movies that you might recognize. Some of them are good, some of them are not. He did a production rewrite for Ant-Man. He wrote and co-wrote Zombieland Double Tap. He also co-wrote Wonder Woman 1984. So depending on if you liked that Wonder Woman movie, that might be a good thing or not. Then, of course, co-wrote with Greg Russo the Mortal Kombat film, and he also wrote the upcoming Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which is the MCU film that's coming out later this year, if it actually does come out this year. And then he's also tapped to write the untitled Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse sequel, and it looks like he might be writing the live-action version of Hercules. So we have Scorpion say, get over here, or whatever. And in the trailer, it looks very cheesy. It looks bad. It didn't work. It just didn't work. Then there's also the line where Sub-Zero says, "I am Sub-Zero" or whatever. It's like, that was not necessary. That was cheesy. We know he's Sub-Zero. I mean, he's wearing the mask. He's blue, or the mask is blue. So that was cheesy. That shouldn't have been there. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Goro. So Goro is going to be part of this movie. The very brief shot that we saw of Goro it looks like it's CGI. I'm pretty sure it's going to be CGI. And just even though it's just very minimal, what we saw, it looks like the CGI might not be good, and it might be limited because of the budget. So hopefully Goro doesn't look too bad. Hopefully it doesn't look too fake. But I mean, the Goro in 1995 wasn't CGI, and it looked kind of puppety as well. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. And then, of course, I already mentioned this part too. There's another con. At least for me, it may not be for you or most Mortal Kombat fans. I don't know. But for me, there's no Johnny Cage. There's no Johnny Cage in this movie. He's one of my favorite characters. I think he'll be a lot of fun. I think he would have been entertaining in this film. And it looks like he's not going to be in it. So I don't know if they just completely got rid of Johnny Cage, just like they got rid of him in some of the video games, and then just brought him back. But I don't know if he's just completely out of this version of Mortal Kombat, or maybe he'll come back or maybe he'll appear in a sequel of Mortal Kombat. That I don't know. It just doesn't seem like they're going to use him at all. But I guess we'll see. So overall, the trailer of 2021, overall I did like it. I thought it was good, despite its cheese. I mean, the bar is pretty low for Mortal Kombat, so I'm not expecting something like groundbreaking. I don't have the anticipation of like a Star Wars movie or even an MCU film or even a DCEU film or DC film or whatever you want to call it now. So the expectations were kind of low. I was hoping to see more of what's in the video game. I mainly was hoping to see more like fatalities and stuff that we didn't see in the original movies, the 1995 and the 1997 versions. So we didn't get those for those films that were PG-13. This one's going to be R-rated, and we're going to see some fatalities, and we already saw some in the trailer. So it'll be interesting to see which ones they use. If they used ones that they've actually used in the video game, that'd be pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. I'm still excited to see the movie. It's just a matter of if I'm going to watch it on HBO Max or if I'm going to watch it in theaters. Maybe by mid-April, theaters might have reopened here in Southern California. All right, so that's pretty much it for the Mortal Kombat reboot trailer. So now I'm going to move on to very quickly the what to watch segment. So For All Mankind is premiering this weekend. This is a show on Apple TV Plus. The second season is premiering this weekend. I'm sure a lot of people have not watched this because a lot of people probably don't care to watch Apple TV Plus, but Apple TV Plus actually does have some good shows. This show For All Mankind is very well made. The production, the quality, and all of these Apple TV shows is really good. The story in For All Mankind is basically that what would happen if the Soviet Union made it to the moon first, and that the United States is still just left behind in this space war, or space race, I should say, space race. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that series as to like, you can feel the pressure of the United States to catch up with the Soviet Union, and it's just some cool stuff going on in that show. Everything is top notch. The acting, even the special effects is great. So that's one of my favorite shows right now, and season 2 had just premiered. So of course we have a WandaVision episode 7 coming out this weekend. WandaVision being a 9-episode mini-series or limited series. I don't know what they want to call it now. So episode 7 has released this weekend. Just like last time, I'm not going to dive into spoilers or details, but if for whatever reason you forgot that WandaVision is coming out this weekend, episode 7, then here you go. So WandaVision episode 7 came out this Friday. So the other show that's also running right now is a show called Servant, is on Apple Plus. I mentioned it last week as well, and this one is episode 6. I believe it's episode 6. I think it's 10 episodes, and I mentioned it's kind of a creepy show. There's some influence of M. Night Shyamalan, and then we have the actress from 6 Feet Under, and then we have Rupert Grint, who plays an American kind of weird character, but he's kind of fun to watch. So episode 6 of The Servant is on Apple TV Plus, and WandaVision is on Disney Plus. So Hulu also released the film Nomadland, starring Frances McDormand. This is a film that has been receiving a lot of Oscar buzz. Some people are saying that it's going to win Best Picture for 2020 at the Oscars. Frances McDormand and the film have already been nominated for Golden Globes and some other awards. I'm sure the Oscars will also give the film some love. So it's on Hulu now, and it's also in theaters. So it just came out this weekend. I'll probably be watching it, or eventually I'll be watching it. And lastly, we have this film called, I believe it's a film, called I Care a Lot. It's on Netflix. It stars Rosamund Pike, which is the girl from Gone Girl, and she was also in, if you ever saw that 007 movie, Die Another Day, with Pierce Brosnan and Halle Berry. So she was in that film as well. So this movie is on Netflix. It's about this con artist that takes advantage of this older lady, and I think got some Golden Globe nominations. So it was just released on Netflix. So I might be watching that. I'm interested in watching it. So just letting you know about it if you want to watch it. So that was my what to watch segment for this weekend here at the Met Report on my channel, the Movie Canon. So now the Funko Pop giveaway. So we have a new Funko Pop giveaway that I'm announcing today, and this is for a Movie Canon subscriber. It's a Funko Pop giveaway of Mortal Kombat, so it'll be a Mortal Kombat character the winner will get. I won't tell you which character, but whoever wins, I'll send you a Mortal Kombat Funko Pop as this giveaway. So I'll put the instructions, the details in the comment section of this video, but you must be a subscriber to the Movie Canon YouTube channel and must have a mailing address within the United States. I can't really mail a Funko Pop overseas without it costing me like a lot of money. So that's why I'm not really doing that. But if you have an address within the United States and you're a Movie Canon subscriber, just follow the instructions on how to possibly win this Funko Pop. All right, so I'll announce the winner in one of my episodes of the Met Report, and so continue watching this new show, the Met Report on the Movie Canon. Everyone, thanks so much for watching the Met Report episode 2, and I'll see you guys next time.